right, so what's up, guys? So we are out here on another run, out here doing this craziness. All you guys, just simply sit back, watch, and enjoy. And you know, it's not necessarily nighttime right now, but we are just up super early. We literally got up at 3:30 in the morning to head out here and go running for all you guys. And simply due to our habits, our exercise habits in particular, we're able to come out here and do this craziness and deal with drop balls and continue going on our way. And for you in particular, you may be wondering how to develop these same, tendencies or habits. And don't worry, because we are gonna give you 4 ways to develop your exercise habits. And without further ado, we're gonna go into way number 1 as we're getting super itchy on our legs. We're trying to scratch our legs and deal with this mess. But tip number 1, in order to develop those healthy exercise habits, is number 1, start off with a vision. Right, figure out what it is that you want out of fitness, right? Do you have certain people that inspire you, right? Do you want to look like so and so? Because far too often when we can get caught up or lost and fall at a place, it's simply because we don't have anything to go after, nothing to chase, at least directly. And that can come from not having that inspiration, that vision, that knowing of what it is that you want to do and what you want to get out. This, as we can't see shit, I'm trying to pass this dude and he has no idea what's going on, but it's okay. They'll go around and it's super dark and hazardous. But as long as we have the habits, we can still be out here doing this craziness. We wish the sun would come up so we can see what we're doing, but we're only trying our best. And in order to do that, right, to develop those habits, try to maybe see which influencer you're gonna look like, right? They don't necessarily have to be the biggest and strongest influencer, right? Some of them are on steroids, some are not, some look like everyday normal people, right? Just fit and toned, right? A lot of people want to strive after that too, right? You don't necessarily have to be the biggest, strongest, Mr. Olympia type of body, right? There's so many different things to choose from and different routines and ways to go after it. So really figuring out what it is that you are going to want to do is going to set you in the right way. And even then, some people can even get caught in the loop of that, right? Because they don't really have that vision. And, they could see these bodybuilders, huge monstrosities of muscle and everything. And, they're in the gym for a couple weeks and they don't become like that, right? The chances of that happening in such a short time are very slim. But had they known that there's other people, other influencers, other, I'd say markers to try to hit, they can stay on their habits, right? And not lose that motivation that so many of us can lose as that person is driving a little crazy and didn't see us. But it's okay, we got that awareness, that habit of coming out here and running, doing nothing. So once you have that vision, it's going to take you the daily repetition of work, right? What is it that you're doing every day, day after day, right? Because that's where the habit is formed, right? Through that consistency And you may not necessarily want to be doing the same thing every day, and that's okay. But you know that's gonna have to be planned out, right? Written out, set clear, your course of action, right? Almost as if, you know, you're going to battle every day, which you are, right? When you go to the gym, right? You're fighting your body's urge to stay where it is, at homeostasis. And by going through these excruciating workouts, you are forcing your body to adjust. But your body doesn't know the schedule. It can't read your mind. Should be one step ahead of it. Plan everything out. Understand everything that you're doing, right? Because what you don't know can and probably will be used against you. It'll hurt you, right? Because as you work out, there's different ways to go about it. And you know, there's so much stuff over the years that I wish I had known sooner, right? It would have definitely helped me, that I just learned along the way by chance. And I wish someone had told me, right? That would have been awesome. But you know, it's okay, right? You live and you learn. And you know, that's gonna come too with tip number 3, as far as developing that exercise habit, is figuring out your niche, right? What are you good at? And also, what are you bad at, right? Knowing yourself, right? Because so many people don't, right? They have no idea, you know, what it is that they're capable of, not only capable of, but what they could potentially excel at or already excel at, and the areas that need work, right? So when you're developing these habits, you can either accentuate your strengths or try to compensate for your weaknesses, or even if you're kind of average at some things, raise them up to being good. But in setting those workout routines and habits, you have to set them accordingly, right? Say you got a huge upper body, but your legs aren't that good, and you decide to do the workout, this leg workout of someone who's an NFL kicker who's got super strong legs, you are probably going to be inconsistent, right? Because the first day you try it, you're gonna feel like crap, right? And even the next day you'll be sore, and you might even, frankly, get hurt. So knowing where you stand is only gonna help you develop the right habits and stay on them. And oftentimes, if you're not doing the right things, even if you try to develop the habit, you simply won't be able to. Like the aforementioned example, right? If you get sore, you get hurt, you're gonna have to rest whether you like it or not. And even if you try and make the mistake of trying to work out through that, it's only going to get worse, right? And you're not gonna make any progress, right? It's too risky. So really knowing where you stand is gonna help you not only develop the right habits, but be able to stay on course, right? It's not so much about the work that you put in, but you know, doing the right work. People often miss that step, right? It can be so much easier. You don't have to do so much heavy lifting all the time. But if you're doing the right lifting, you're gonna be able to do it more often, more efficiently, and have better results, where the habits are gonna come by a lot easier for you. And you know, without further ado, we're gonna go into tip number 4, as far as developing those habits is concerned. And you know, this is all going to stem from, you know, giving back, going, you know, and helping others, right? Developing the habit of teaching, because the habit of teaching teaches you more about yourself it gets you a greater grasp of what it is that you're doing. So when you go about your workout routine, you're gonna have a greater understanding, right? Because from being on top of other people's, you're gonna learn what's good to be on top of yourself, right? Because you inevitably have to be your own coach at times, right? You have to be responsible for yourself, right? And having to think through the perspectives of other people, and specifically in regards to their habits, you're gonna know what inspires people, right? What makes them want to work out, right? So if you have a friend that's curious, right, as far as working out is concerned, be nice, right? Try, if you have some time, help them out, teach them a thing or two, and really watch them. Notice if they're making progress. Notice if they're able to stay consistent. Because if they're not, you know, you might be doing something wrong, right? Something that you can adjust in yourself and, you know, make better, right? And that's okay. Even though we are all different, we have different quirks and skills and flaws like we mentioned before, but gaining that perspective of motivating others and teaching them the right habits is only going to teach you the right habits as well. So, you know, these are the 4 ways to develop good exercise habits and stay on them. And as always, we say thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.